What is your happiest story that makes your heart melt? One of the happiest moments of my life happened at a time when I least expected anything good. I had just moved to a new city for work, and even though everything was technically fine, the days felt strangely empty. I didn't know anyone, my routine was work, home, sleep, and the silence in the evenings sometimes felt heavier than it should. One afternoon, as I came back to my building, I noticed an older woman struggling to lift a box of fruit someone had left at her door. I stopped and offered to help. She hesitated for a second, then smiled and nodded. After I carried the box into her apartment, I was ready to leave, but she invited me in for a quick cup of tea. Normally, I would have politely refused, too tired, too introverted, but something in me said yes. Her apartment felt warm and lived in, filled with books, photographs, and the kind of atmosphere that makes you slow down. She talked calmly about her life, her late husband, her daughter living far away, and the small traditions that kept her connected to people. The conversation was simple, but it felt natural in a way I hadn't experienced in a long time. My quick cup of tea turned into nearly 2 hours. When I left, she said gently, "If you ever need company, I'm right upstairs." Nothing dramatic, just a quiet offer that stayed with me longer than any motivational speech ever could. After that, we crossed paths more often. Sometimes I helped carry her groceries. Sometimes she shared something she baked. We watched old movies together, talked a little, and sometimes didn't talk at all. But the presence alone meant something. It changed the feeling of coming home. Suddenly, it wasn't just a place with walls, but somewhere I was actually glad to return to. One evening, she handed me an old photograph of herself with her husband sitting on a park bench, smiling in that effortless way people do when they don't realize they're being photographed. She said, "The happiest moments always show up unplanned." Then she looked at me with the kind of understanding that only people who've lived a long time seem to have, and said, "I'm glad you're here." Only then did I realize how one small moment, one box of fruit, one invitation to tea, had quietly changed my whole sense of belonging. After months of feeling invisible in a new city, I suddenly had someone who asked how my day was, because they genuinely cared. And that's why this is one of the happiest stories of my life. Not because anything big happened, but because a small, unexpected human connection made me feel, for the first time in a long while, that I wasn't alone.